All right, ladies and germs, thank you for joining us on another episode of The Jay Show. First and foremost, if you haven't done already, please hit that like and subscribe button and make sure you see future episodes of the show coming out. This week, we have the awesome Vic Edwards, right? He's such a lovely guy, and I used to work in the IT industry. It can be dry. It can be hard to kind of like create interesting content about and get a message out. Vic does not have that problem, right? Vic releases honest content. And I think you'll find out in this show, he's just such an honest guy. Like the way he runs his business, the way he runs his life, the way he's put the whole thing together is just basically about being true to himself. And yeah, I know that's a bit of a buzzword and sounds a little silly and a little cheesy, but guess what? People do buy from people. People want to work with you, not someone who sells your thing, right? I can buy whatever you sell, whatever you're selling. I can get it elsewhere. I can get it cheaper, faster, whatever. The reason I want to work with you is you. And I think Vic has really tapped into like what makes him him, and also building out a team of people who can jump by the same ethos, go by the same concepts, and make sure that they, providing what he wants to his clients, which is obviously why he's been so incredibly successful. So check us out. Like I say, hit that subscribe button so you get future episodes show. We've got some fantastic guests coming up for the rest of the year. But in the meantime, here is the wonderful, the man himself, Mr. Vic Edwards. And we are live! Welcome to another episode of The Jay Show. First and foremost, thank you. Thanks for all the messages we've been getting. Thank you for the suggestions of guests. We are booked way into the end of this year at the moment. So if I'm not getting back to you when you've suggested an awesome guest, I promise I'm not ignoring you. Well, I am a little bit, but not too much. So this week, we have someone that I've been following for a long time, kind of a kindred spirit for me because he works in IT. I used to work in IT. We just talked about how boring that is before the call. But this week we have the awesome, the man, the myth, the legend, the wonderful Mr. Vic Edwards. How are you, sir?
Wow, fucking introduction. Yeah, I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm good, man. You?
Yeah, really good. It's been one of those like since the world's opened up again and the back in the office. It's cool. It's like it smells like positivity in the air. Feels like the world's opened up a little bit.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Sun's out as well, so man, so good.
Straight
so
away,
good.
there we go.
Yeah, man.
So, Vic, for those people out there who aren't following already,
by the way, I've got to say, actually, you're looking good, man. You've been working out, yeah?
I try my best a little bit. Yeah, I dropped about 4.5 stones in the last few years, which is good.
That's how much I've put on. Sorry,
man. My operations manager came back from lockdown and said that there's 3 things that you come out of lockdown being: a hunk, a chunk, or just a drunk. And I was like, I think I've had a little bash at least 2 to 3 of those, like depending on the month, right?
Nice.
So, Vic, for those people who aren't already following you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Vic Edwards. I run an IT company. Actually, it's weird because we're talking to someone yesterday, and it's weird because the whole title thing. I've always felt uncomfortable saying managing director. I don't know what it is. Like I've always felt like it just sounds a bit, I don't know, pompous or something. Do you know what I mean?
Does, yeah.
So I run an IT company called VLAN, based in Wakefield. It's been going for 3.5 years actually this month.
Congrats.
And it's going pretty awesome. I can't complain. So yeah, man. Yeah, it's good.
Let's pick that apart a little bit because that's actually really interesting. I feel the same. Like throughout my whole career, I wanted to be in charge of something and have like the business card with the good name on it. And then some idiot, I don't know who, but I ended up being managing director of this company. And since then, titles don't mean anything to me. Anyone can have this title, like give it away. And I feel the same. Like it feels like a grown-up thing to be called a managing director. And I'm not sure I'm quite there.
I know. It's weird. I mean, it's I did a post the other day. I don't know if I've done it. I don't know if I've posted it, but when you set yourself goals, and obviously you get to that goal, and then you set yourself another goal. It's like you're never almost satisfied with what you've got. Do you know what I mean? Which is quite weird. So now I'm just sort of like just gonna try and be like that forever and forevermore, kind of thing. So I just enjoy it, the process and the whole thing. Just everything is just like one thing rather than get into to a goal and then get into another goal
and then just storming past it and the next goal.
But if you just you just be that same person all the time. You just, at the end of the day, I mean, I was a business development manager. Do you know what I mean? I still am. That's it's in my blood. It's the same thing. Essentially, I'm doing exactly the same thing. Just now, I don't have any dickheads to tell me what to do. You know what I mean? I tell myself what to do.
You are
exactly.
that
dickhead. Yeah, exactly. I hate myself.
I gotta admit, like it's, I've always said this, like nothing in my career, because I'm a salesperson, right? Nothing in my career ever gave me anything to help out with this role. Like I specifically was someone who worked on their own. I specifically was like my desk, my business, like a bit, lone wolf mentality, because that's what sales are, right?
That's exactly, that's what it is. I mean, again, I was speaking to someone the other day, because like, so when you work for a company, obviously you've been in IT, essentially, you are pretty much running your own mini business within a business. Do you know what I mean? You deal with all the clients, pretty much the customer service, because obviously that's relationship. At the end of the day, you tell the customer they have one point of call, which is yourself, so that you deal with everything. Now, the difference is, obviously, when you go on your own, is that you're liable for literally everything else. But the benefit is you get everything. Do you know what I mean? And you don't take all the bullshit, and you can actually drive that business the way you want it, rather than someone else saying, we need to do this, and micromanage you, blah blah blah. And it's rubbish. Also, because you're running your own business within a business, imagine how well you're doing now. I mean, you're doing pretty well. I'm doing pretty well. Now imagine all those people that I've worked for gave me that same opportunity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, they would have had this. Do you know what I mean? But they didn't. They micromanaged me. They were dickheads. Do you know what I mean? But fuck them. But anyway.
But it's a hard thing to learn, isn't it? It's all of a sudden like going from that salesy mentality of like my business, my target, mine, don't steal my lead, right? As I always used to be. In fact, I actually, so I was telling you before the call, I used to work in this office before we started GL Pro, and then last couple of years we actually took it over. When I originally started in a company called Net Utils, I was at the lowest rung doing lead gen, and sat next to a guy, and basically there was a lead problem. Someone has stolen some leads. Someone might have stolen some leads. Not too sure. Someone might not have done. We sat next to each other. We didn't speak for 3 months. Didn't speak. Wow. And we were like a team. We were like the lead gen team. So it'd be like, hey, lead gen, come over here and do this and that. And we just didn't talk. And the amazing thing is like that kind of attitude, that kind of way of working, I wouldn't even dream of doing that now. It's my place. But having that safety net above you, having someone to be like, hey, maybe treat your colleagues nicely, meant that I could be more of a dickhead, basically. So how have you started? It's been 3.5 years, right? Being a boss. How have you overcome those? What have you been doing to kind of learn and invest in yourself?
It's weird, right? So So when I started the business, right, it was pretty much me and my wife, and so the reason why I started the business, because I was made redundant. It was either go work for another IT company or not. So I was like, I'm not. So we set up the company, and then we went to .gov website, downloaded the business plan thing, as you do. Spoke to a lot of people. It's like, you need a business plan. I was like, right, okay. So I've got to fill in this fucking massive. Do you know what I mean? It's like the size of a fucking Old Testament and the New Testament, like together, which is a Bible, obviously. Anyway, so I was like, I'm not doing that, right? Because imagine, right? Like, picture this. So you do a business plan. Let's say it takes you 3-4 months, and then COVID hit. And then what happened to that 4 months?
Show me the plan for that then, yeah?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. So basically, we didn't do a business plan. So what we did, actually, I did print it out. You're not going to see it properly, but this, my friend, is my business plan. It's got 10 things on it. I don't know if you can see it, right? It's got 10 things, And I will read them out because they are pretty cool, actually. Number 1, this is my business plan. Number 1, family. Number 2, don't waste energy on shit. Number 3, stick to your guns. Number 4, learn. Number 5, partners and clients, speak to them, be open and honest at all times. Number 6, don't use stock images. Number 7, stay humble. Number 8, stay in your lane. Number 9, ask for help. And number 10, have fun, right?
Love it.
And that was it. Now, for me, business, again, right? Probably people are listening going like, oh my God, you're such an idiot. No, I don't give a fuck, because like my business works how I want it to work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, for me, I've got clients, who want to buy from me, and I've got suppliers. Believe it or not, a lot of IT people don't actually hold stock or anything. They actually outsource everything, but they don't tell their clients that. So I've got awesome partners. I do. My clients know that. Makes it so much easier when you tell the truth. Yeah. Anyway, so and then I've got suppliers, And I was like, well, that's all I need. That's business, and I'm literally the middle person who makes everything work. Do you know what I mean? I'm pretty much just a pimp. You know what I mean? And then so yeah, and that was business, and I thought, why make it complicated? What make it complicated? Just do that, do the basics, and then as you go, then you can sort of like come up with some sort of like a business plan or something, and and then here we are. But every time. Sorry, I'll tell you this as well. Yeah. But every time, as it happens, you have the imposter syndrome where you compare yourself with other people and stuff like that. But every time that happens, I just go back and go, yeah, my business is working. Why the fuck do I want to be like those guys? You know what I mean? They're probably not happy anyway. So I just go back to that and go, yeah, that's me. Do you know what I mean? And I just, go back to my own thing. Again, it works for me. So
but it's the keeping up with the Joneses can kill you. Like, especially like what we do, we're a media agency, and it's all about spinning a story, right? It's very easy for us to look at all of our competitors and be like, clearly doing better than us. Look, they've posted that project. That's much cooler than something we just did, blah, 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 blah. But is it, or is it the cool project they did in 2017 that they're still posting? I don't know. I don't follow them that much, and you can get lost in yourself. And what I love about your 10 points there is 18 months, 2 years into running a business, I looked back and was like, what in the hell, man? Why did I spend all that time? I killed myself to write a freaking business plan. Like, I wasn't, and we're not a startup, right? I make a very, very, very clear line that we are not a startup because we didn't get any funding, right? And that's what I'm looking back on it and saying,
2 seconds. Is that what a startup is when you get funding? Is that what?
It's to me, because like a startup seems to be funded with an idea, and then that's where they get first round seed funding, second round funding and stuff. Like I don't see myself as a startup because we're a small business.
Well, I'm not a startup as well. Then I was never a startup because I didn't get no funding from anyone. So
no, me and Tony, my business partner, we had like I think a month or two worth of our personal rent in the bank. And then we went out and sold stuff, like, what I mean? Yeah. So I've always made that distinction of like, we went out and carved out the market. So at the same point, I then look at other businesses that start at the same time who are startups. I'm like, wow, look how far they've gone. They got 35 people, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah. But they also took, 1.2 million in seed money. They only own 35% of their own company. Like, I'd much prefer to be a small business than a massive startup. Like, I know 35% of billions is probably quite nice, but this is mine. Like, I don't have to worry about any people above being like, I don't have to report to any investors and stuff, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It's a nice way to live.